Hey guys, welcome back to the Prehistoric Life Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Crawford, and today we're diving in to our Christmas special. Merry Dinomas, everyone. I hope everybody is having a prehistoric holidays, and I hope y'all are getting plenty of rest and keeping it prehistoric. So, if y'all keep up with paleo media, there has been a huge discovery within the family of dinosaurs that I personally love the most, the Allosauridia, the Allosaurids, with Saurophaganax, the Lord of the Lizard Eaters. And today we're actually going to discuss the rise and the fall of this great king, this great lord, and how it actually broke off into a new king and a giant. So we're going to go ahead and dive on in. Saurophaganax was a massive carnivorous theropod dinosaur that lived during the Late Jurassic period in what is now North America. Known from fragmentary fossil remains, it was likely one of the largest predators of its time. Saurophaganax was closely related to Allosaurus and is sometimes considered a species in the genus. Its powerful jaws, sharp teeth, and robust limbs suggest it was an apex predator preying on large herbivorous dinosaurs such as sauropods and stegosaurus. So, as I was mentioning that size, this thing comes in at a height of 11.5 feet and a length of 42.7 feet and a weight of 3.3 to 4.2 short tons. So this thing is a behemoth and a giant of its time. And it is a massive beast, rivaling even I would dare to say some of the smaller Tyrannosaurus in T-Rex specimen in size. And it rivals them too. It is the apex of where it was found. And its diet, as mentioned before, was stegosaurids, sauropods, and the mini sauropods, the apatosaurs, diplodocus, camarasaurus, brachiosaurus in its environment, and even Saurophaganax, which we'll get into later, and other smaller things, Dryosaurus, basically anything it can get its claws and jaws around. And it was found in Kenton, Oklahoma, in the Morrison Formation. And actually, with today's sponsor, this is one of the formations you can go out and see. And I'm pretty sure they have a Dinosaur National Monument tour. Huge shout out to today's sponsor, Dinosaur Trips. If you enjoy these majestic creatures I talk about here on the podcast and would like to go see them for yourself, I would heavily recommend Dinosaur Trips. Dinosaur Trips is a company created to give people a behind-the-scenes in-look on museums and dig sites, along with just having an amazing time looking at these amazing, fabulous, majestic creatures. So if you sound interested, go to www.dinosaurtrips.com and tell them Prehistoric Life sent you and get $250 off your tickets. Now, back to the show. And it lived in what is now known as the Jurassic of the Mesozoic period, specifically 151 million years ago in the Tithonian of the Late Jurassic period, which, as mentioned, was 151-ish million years ago. It was found by John Wills Stovall, who was born in 1891 and died July 24th, 1953. He's an American vertebrate paleontologist. He worked for the University of Oklahoma. He named the theropod dinosaur Acrocanthosaurus in 1950, which we'll go over in an Acrocanthosaurus episode farther down the line. And he described Saurophaganax in 1931 and 1932. It took a while. So there's actually a lot to go into for this fossil representation. And this includes the new paper that was released by the vertebrate anatomy morphology paleontologists. So I'm basically just going to read this off and then give a summary on what to say about it, I guess. be the best thing to do. Saurophaganax maximus is the designation of a massive theropod dinosaur recovered from the Kenton member of the Upper Jurassic Morrison Formation in Oklahoma. The theropod was originally given the name Saurophagus maximus, but was later revised to Saurophaganax maximus, which is far better in my opinion. As the former did not conform to ICZN standards, several autopomorphies were described for S. maximus, including the postorbital lacking a postorbital boss, the atlas vertebra lacking facets for proatlas, cervical vertebra with nearly vertical post-zygomorphies, unique accessory layman on the holotype neural arch. So this is a lot of just like word baloney here, word bogus. Pneumatized post pectoral dorsal centra, lateral bowed femora, tibia without an astrogargial buttress, and more prominent distal crest, less distally diverged, fourth minotaurals, and craniocaudal expanded chevrons. So if that, I probably horribly butchered that with a lot of that biological mumbo jumbo. But the paper is right here if you want to read it. If that actually means a lot more to someone else and they're looking at this, hurrah to you. However, on reevaluation of these specimens, shows that some of this material, including the holotype, is more parsimoniously referred to diplodocid sauropods found in the same quarry rather than an Allosaurid, because Saurosuchian material referred to S. maximus is likely chimeric, but so that's just meaning chimeric, meaning that like they're saying with the diplodocid sauropod found with it. They're just saying that it's just a bunch of hodgepodge of different animals. So they have some Diplodocus, some S, what they're claiming is S. maximus, some other Allosaurid, probably Fragilis, chimeric but diagnostic. We propose taxonomic revision and hypothesize dual validity. The name Saurophaganax maximus should refer to a previously undiagnosed diplodocid instead of the large theropod recovered from the Kenton 1 quarry. The presence of at least one skeletal mature theropod was confirmed, though. Prehistology of fourth metatarsal. Despite the similarity of the theropod material, we know species of Allosaurus, some decisively theropod specimens featured subtle autapomorphies that suggest a separate species, which we describe as Allosaurus Anax, SP Nov. So basically, to lower that mumbo jumbo, you have Saurophaganax. They found Saurophaganax because this is actually just a lot of word soup. And this is a problem that I am actually going to call out right now for scientific paper writers. To the layman's eyes, this means absolutely nothing. You have like a whole sentence of just body parts, which I get, but you could also have that like in a separate paragraph. So it's like these body parts logoed below, and you just put that in parentheses so that normal people can actually read it. But they also use of very big words that don't actually need there to just try to make it sound smart. But to basically break this down in layman's terms, the dinosaur Saurophaganax maximus was initially described as a large theropod from the Kenton member of the Upper Jurassic Formation in Oklahoma. However, further research revealed that much of the material, including the holotype, was more likely from a diplodocid sauropod rather than an allosaur theropod. The name Saurophaganax maximus was originally given to a large theropod, but due to inconsistencies in its classification, it is now proposed to refer to a previously unrecognized diplodocid species. While the material linking to S. maximus seems to be chimeric, a mix of different species, a separate theropod species, Allosaurus Anax sp. Nov, is suggested based on subtle but distinct features in certain theropod specimens. Additionally, paleohistology confirms the presence of a skeletal mature theropod, reinforcing that idea of dual validity for the species. So, in my opinion, Saurophaganax maximus fits the theropod, and it does fit an Allosaurus. So, but it is mostly what we are saying is a diplodocid. Not this specific diplodocus, but like a unrecognized diplodocid that is now being referred to as Saurophaganax maximus. And of course we have the part of the bone that is like still within actual question. And this is a right postorbital that is referred to as Saurophaganax OMNH1771, but is now a new species of Allosaurus Anaxus. So this is the Allosaurus Anaxa that we are Anax that we are referring to. I pronounce that three different ways, but it's Allosaurus Anax. But initially, for Saurophaganax, it's in the theropods. You zoom into the Allosauridia and to the Allosauridia. You zoom in a bit more. It's kind of at the end there. I did exit out, and there it is. That last bit, and there we go for Saurophaganax maximus. It's a eukaryote Animalia, Chordata, Dinosauria, Sarasuchia, Incertia sedius, and then it's the genus Saurophaganax, and then the species is Maximus. But we have also now, as mentioned, discovered that that is wrong. So we have moved it. You zoom in a bit, and then you see Allosaurus Anaxus up there next to Fragilis. I did not see a good place to place it on the actual taxonomic tree like this, but considering how it was discovered and how large it probably was and it's depicted, I'm still going to put it close to Fragilis, and it's probably an evolution out of Fragilis. But it is a eukaryote, Animalia, Chordata, Dinosauria, Sarasuchia, Theropoda, Allosauridia, Allosaurini, Allosaurus Anaxa. So here we have Allosaurus Anax, the king of the different lizards. So as you can see, I do have three different ones: Allosaurus Gymnodacina, Fragilis, my personal favorite, and Anax. Anax is still depicted as the largest and the most terrifying there. So, and if I hear somebody say Saurophaganax, Anax will be thought to be the Saurophaganax until the actual theropod is brought about and properly named. So fossil representation is, as mentioned, this post-orbital that was originally OMNH1771 that referred to Saurophaganax maximus, but reassessed as a new species of Allosaurus Anax. And for a quick breakdown, where you see the A is a lateral, B is medial, and C is dorsal view. So it's just different views of the same of the like same thing. So A is the lateral view, B is the medial view, and C is the dorsal view. If you want to like pause this and just look at this for a second, go for it. And of course, the habitat didn't really change because where the location of the fossils did not change. It was just reclassified. So it's a semi-arid floodplains and forests of course, the Morrison Formation. That much hasn't really changed because that's outside of the specific diagnosis of Saurophaganax. And the competition in its environment was other allosaurids, primarily probably Fragilis, Torvosaurus. I was about to say Tarbosaurus, but that's not right. Torvosaurus, which is a absolute monster megalosaurid that lived during the time, and probably the least likely of these, Ceratosaurus, which was the smallest, but it was still competition for other prey. And its paleontological significance, outside of just the obvious that this is not necessarily a new species, but I don't want to say the destruction of a species, but the taking away of a species and the creation of a new. No. The taking away of a genus and the creation of a new species under Allosaurus and building up the Allosaurus diversity, which is my personal favorite dinosaur group. It really just builds up, and it's still this monstrously large Allosaurid that's just amazing to study. It's just an actual Allosaurid instead of its own genus now. So it's got a lot of paleontological significance while also taking away some of that diversity that we thought was there. I mean, we thought that it was a diverse thing from Allosaurus, but now we figured out that it is an Allosaurus, therefore taking away a bit of that diversity there. And of course, if you want to see more from me, go check out my Instagram, Prehistoric Life Podcast, Prehistoric_Life_podcast. If you want to see my content 2-ish days in advance, go check out my YouTube, or if you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe, ring the bell, turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And if you want all my content in one place, check out my website, prehistoriclifepodcast.com. From there, you can get to my YouTube and my Instagram. And I hope you all have an amazing holidays, amazing December. And I am your host, Eric Crawford. This has been Prehistoric Life Podcast, signing off. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, and remember, keep it prehistoric. Goodbye.